Hey YouTube, what's going on? Fist of Legend here. I want to do a follow-up video with an update on my Kahr PM9. I've been getting a few questions asking me how it's been holding up. Do I still like it? How's it been performing? So I just kind of wanted to address that a little bit. I have had a couple issues with the gun. I shouldn't say with the gun. I've had one issue with the gun that I'm just kind of curious about. What I've been having problems with is the magazines you see over there on the right side of the screen. Those are the extended round. You get one round extension, so there's 7 rounders that are Kahr factory magazines. And out of the 3 of these magazines in front of you, I've had pretty serious issues with 2 of them. And I actually have a call into Kahr right now, so I'm waiting to hear back from them. I'll tell you more. I had an issue with the gun itself, but I'm really curious what's going on with these magazines. In the hand, the 7 rounders just feel better, especially in terms of drawing from inside the waistband. It just gives me a little bit of extra purpose. For those of us with larger hands, it definitely feels a little bit better. It's not a problem with the 6 rounders, just with a 2-finger grip. But I mean, honestly, I prefer the feel of the 7-round extended magazines with this gun. But it's obviously not going to work for me if these magazines keep malfunctioning, and I'm not sure. I think it may be a follower issue, and I'm not sure what's going on. So what I'm going to do is, I got some snap caps here. I want to see if I can kind of simulate what's going on. I mentioned this in one of my other videos, and let me see. Yeah, this magazine, I marked it because this one, about 2 out of the 7 rounds in it every time were failing to feed. The tip of the cartridge is getting hung up on the feed ramp in the gun, and it's not a feed ramp problem because the small 6-round magazines, flawless. I have 2 of them, haven't had a single failure to feed. But with these 7 rounders, it seems to be a continuing issue. So what's going on is, alright, when I first start loading the magazine, you'll see that it's following the angle of the follower. It's parallel with the angle of the follower and the springs and all that. Okay, so as I start to add more rounds, you'll see that a little separation starts to happen where the follower starts to angle downwards, but the top round is still angled with the lips on the top of the magazine. Alright, see if I can do this without knocking the camera over. Okay, so now you're really starting to see it. Now you're really starting to see sort of a separation, and you're starting to see this. If I parallel my fingers with the angle of these snap caps, you'll see we got some contrasting contrasting directions here. Alright, now it's getting even more exaggerated. Now it looks like the rounds are almost starting to point downwards. Alright, so that's what we have. And I'm not sure if I can get this to simulate what's going on. But let's see if I can do it. Alright, so you see that's going to feed no problem. The angle is just fine. Alright. You see that? Now granted, that was less force when I just hand racked the slide in comparison to what it would be knocking itself back into battery off the recoil. But you see, so we just give it a tap. Let me give it a lot of force here. Yeah, see, it's kind of sticky right there. I don't know if you could make that out in the camera, but it was almost like a 2-step. Like it's kind of sticky. Yeah, now it's going a little smoother. Yeah, so I can't really simulate what's going on, but if I drop the mag, let me reach through here. Yeah, I talked about this before. The tip of the cartridge seems to be getting hung up down here. The angle gets so low, the downward angle, it's almost like the followers are tilting forward, so that the tip of the cartridge is actually going below the feed ramp right down here, and it's getting caught, and it's causing failure to feeds. And I thought that maybe it was just this first magazine that I had loaded, this one, which is what I put a mark on it, so I just said, okay, this is a dedicated range magazine. But it happened again with one of these too, and of course, like an idiot, I forgot to mark which one it is, so I'm gonna have to go back through and run them and see which one was messing up. But that's a drag for me. So I'll be curious, any of you other Kahr PM9 users out there, let me know what's going on with the 7-round magazines, if any of you guys are experiencing those same issues. Like I said, with this, not a single problem, and with the other 6-rounder, no issues, not a single failure to feed. But now 2 out of these 3, I'm having that. So that's a cause for concern. Considering that this is a dedicated CCW firearm for me, if you can't rely on that, what's the point? Alright, so again, like I said, I have a call into Kahr. I want to talk to them about that. The other issue I had just on Friday, I went to the range. This little washer here, I don't know if that's what the correct term is. I'm sure someone will be real quick to let me know what that is, but this is a little threaded washer at the end of my guide rod. This thing just fell off the other day, about halfway through my shooting session. I dropped a magazine, put a new one in, changed out targets. When I racked the slide, put the gun back in battery, I'm sorry, something went bink, 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 and fell out. And I was trying to figure out what it was, and I see this little piece lying here. So I cleared the gun, found this piece, looked on the gun, saw that at the end of the guide rod there was just exposed threads. So I put this little washer back on it and tried to tighten it with my hands as much as possible, fired a couple more rounds, checked it, and it was loose as hell again. I mean, it was almost all the way unscrewed again. So I tried to tighten it down once again, ran another magazine through it. Again, it didn't fall off, but it was crazy loose. So finally I just put some blue Loctite on it and just let the gun sit for the rest of the night. And it's on here nice and solid now. But I want to find out what's going on from Kahr, if there's an underlying issue here in the guide rod assembly that's making that happen, or if that's another common issue. Again, I'd be very curious to hear from other Kahr PM9 users out there what's going on with that. Alright, so not making me super happy about the gun, just having these little issues. I understand that every once in a while these things happen, so I'm not ready to write the gun off at all. However, until I really find out what's going on and talk to Kahr and see what they have to say, I don't know. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to pass any judgment yet. In terms of how the gun shoots, I've been having, you know, it's been all right. I brought some targets. I was running it at 20 feet, 115 grain. So here's some of my targets. So obviously the gun, it can shoot as well as I can. It performs as well as I can. So as to whether or not I'm a good shot or not, that's up for debate. But just show you some of the targets. For such a small gun, it should, at this range, there's people out there I'm sure will just make one big hole right here. I'm not at that level just yet. It's a work in progress for me. So you see this group kind of opened up quite a bit actually. So and there's another one. Alright. Here's another one. Again, the group kind of opened up a little bit. But if you look at it in terms of if this was an attacker's chest, that's not a bad little group. None of these are a bad little group. They're all gonna hit their desired target and get the job done. And then yeah, here I tried to get a little I don't know. I don't even know what word I'm looking for. It didn't do so hot. I was trying to put 2 in each. Alright, so I got 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. Open that one up pretty wide, and then I missed this one altogether. I got 1 and then flew this one low. So always a work in progress. What are you gonna do? But yeah, that's my update real quick, YouTube. So I will definitely let you know what's going on once I hear back from Kahr. I'll be curious what they have to say. I think I'm inclined to ask them if they'll just send me out parts to just replace the whole guide rod assembly. And you know, the blue Loctite seems to have done the job, but I want to make sure there's not an underlying issue that caused that little piece to just pop off like that. Alright, so that's it. I guess probably not a favorable review. Again, I don't want to write the gun off. It's really nice to carry. It's very comfortable to carry. It shoots very well, or I should say I shoot well with it. But yeah, there's a few things I'm going to need to figure out if I'm going to continue to carry this as a CCW piece. For right now, it's on hold. It's on hold until further notice. Alright, YouTube, that's it. As always, be safe and God bless.